What's up, guys? D-Rock 1992 here. For this next video, I'm going to be talking about yet another 40-plus-year-old actress who's one of my favorites, who has actually become, throughout the last year or so, she has gradually become one of my favorite actresses. Alongside Cameron Diaz, Jennifer Aniston, all those actresses, a few others as well. But the actress in question I'm talking about is 44-year-old Tina Fey. Tina Fey has had an impact in both television and movies. Recently, she's been her own star in movies. She's starred by herself or co-starred in certain films, but definitely her impact is best known on television. I mean, she's been very successful in both. She's a very funny woman. She's one of my favorites, and without further ado, I'm going to get into it with her big start. This is where she was known on Saturday Night Live. For those of you who don't know, she was a cast member on Saturday Night Live. Actually, she started out as a writer on SNL. And throughout the show, she was a writer she was a head writer. But I believe that she started out as a writer on the show, but she also was on the sketches too. She also appeared on sketches. What you'll remember Tina Fey for on Saturday Night Live definitely is Weekend Update. She did it with Jimmy Fallon. I'm definitely going to be talking about Jimmy Fallon coming up. That's her most famous collaboration. I believe she did some other collaboration. She did a Weekend Update collaboration for about a year with Amy Poehler, I believe. Amy Poehler's another one who I'm going to talk about because she and Tina Fey go together like PB&J, basically. They collaborate on everything, pretty much. But Saturday Night Live, this is where she got her big start. This is where her fame really came in. A lot of Saturday Night Live people, a lot of big-time people, they go on to film. And they go on to some big success. She didn't start out immediately going on to big success after SNL or during SNL. 2002, her film debut comes. She plays in probably a little-known movie called Martin and Orloff. This is kind of significant because there's a lot of SNL cast members who are in this movie. Amy Poehler, Rachel Dratch, among probably a few others, but Martin and Orloff, her debut in 2002. 2004, she writes the very famous Mean Girls movie. Mean Girls, of course, stars Lindsay Lohan, Rachel McAdams, Amanda Seyfried, her film debut. She plays a supporting role as one of the teachers of Lindsay Lohan's character, the math teacher. But Mean Girls definitely she was a writer and she co-starred in the movie. It's a pretty famous movie. She's done a great job as a writer in her career as well as an actress, TV actress and movie actress. Definitely, she has that to go with, too. 2008, she comes out with her first big role, her first big-time starring role. She comes out with a movie called Baby Mama. Have not yet watched the movie. She stars in it with Amy Poehler. And she plays an ambitious young woman. I know the plot because I've seen the plot before, but she plays an ambitious young woman who wants to have a child, I believe, and has one carried. And Amy Poehler's character is a surrogate mother, I think. And she comes in. She's pretty outrageous. Tina Fey's pretty calm. That movie, I think, talks about that a little bit. And so that one is, so that one kind of it's her first big starring role. Her breakout probably was Date Night in 2010. This one is her breakout in movies, I should say. She stars in this one with Steve Carell, and this is one I've reviewed. She, as I said before, she plays Claire Foster, who, and Steve Carell plays her husband, Phil, I think his name is. But anyway, they both have to they both go on a date night. Their life is boring pretty much as a married couple. They go out on a date night and there's a lot of adventure with it. They get into a lot of trouble and a lot of drama. So that film definitely is what put Tina Fey, as their breakout role probably. Also in 2010, she comes out with Megamind. She plays a supporting role in the film along with Will Ferrell. Will Ferrell plays the main guy, but her foray into voiceovers. She did a voiceover as well. She did a few other voiceovers before that, but Megamind's probably her biggest voiceover film. 2013. You have to wait a couple more years until then. You had to wait a few more years, but 2013 she comes out with Admission. She plays in this movie with Paul Rudd. Also a movie I reviewed. Really, when I reviewed Date Night and Admission, I watched both of those in the same night. That was when I was kind of when, and also because I'm a big fan of the show I'm going to talk about coming up. That combined with the other thing is what makes me a big Tina Fey fan. It's what I liked Tina Fey before. I thought she was pretty funny, but this is what really put her over the top for me, definitely. But anyway, Admission. She plays an admissions person at Princeton University, and she figures out that she has a son. Basically, she has a son she gave up for adoption a long time ago, and she figures out that her son does. Basically, if I'm saying it right, but yeah, she figures out that her son is around, basically. She figures out she has a son up for, that she put up for adoption years ago. And the son she thinks is a student who is an admission student, is a student trying to get into Princeton. And she'll do anything for him, basically. It's a story about that. It's a romance, kind of. A romantic comedy, kind of. Definitely different than Date Night, for sure. But it was an alright movie when I watched it. She was in a cameo in Anchorman 2, The Legend Continues. She was in that with Amy Poehler as well. She was an Entertainment Tonight anchor in the big battle in the park. If you remember that scene, if you've watched the movie. But she was in a small cameo there. This year, she's coming out. She did come out with one movie, and she's coming out with another one actually in about a week or so. The first one is Muppets Most Wanted. She plays a supporting role in the film. She plays a Russian woman, a Russian prison guard or something like that. And Muppets Most Wanted, it is the 8th theatrical film featuring the Muppets. This is about an impersonator of Kermit the Frog. Basically, they have to stop that impersonator. But Tina Fey, human people, Ricky Gervais is in the film, and Ty Burrell and from Modern Family, and Tina Fey. So, and I think this film did pretty well at the box office, and as it did pretty well at the box office, and as it critically 79%, which is very good, which is solid, definitely. But the other film that she's coming out with this year is a movie called This Is Where I Leave You. This is an ensemble. She stars on a part of an ensemble cast, along with Jason Bateman, Adam Driver, Rose Byrne, Jane Fonda's in the film. And this is what the plot is. The four pugnacious siblings of the Altman family, Jason Bateman, Tina Fey, Adam Driver, and another actor, Corey Stoll, reunite at their childhood home after their father dies, all grounded for a week of sitting Shiva. This is classified as a comedy drama film, and it is coming out in about another week or so. Actually, it just did come out. I was wrong. Forgive me, I was wrong. September 19th. So it came out a couple of days ago, and so far it's 45% on Rotten Tomatoes, which isn't that great. But definitely, I'll have to. I'd like to see it someday, even if I don't see it in theaters. I'd like to see it someday, definitely. It looks like a pretty good film, but that is that one. And then the next year, she's coming out in 2015. She's coming out with a movie called The Nest. It's a comedy film. It's another collaboration with Amy Poehler. Tina Fey and Amy Poehler's characters are estranged sisters who throw a last party at their house, which their parents are about to sell. Also in this movie coming in are going to be a lot of SNL people. Maya Rudolph, who is an SNL alum. Rachel Dratch, current SNL star Kate McKinnon. John Leguizamo. John Cena. James Brolin. Pretty good cast, definitely. And you can look for this movie out December 18th of next year. That's really it for movies. For TV shows, of course I talked about Saturday Night Live. It was a big TV series for her, for sure. Saturday Night Live was her breakout, definitely. But a few years later, actually the year that she quit SNL, 2006, she comes out with the very critically acclaimed TV show 30 Rock, which I am a huge fan of. When I watched the show a few months ago or so, I think it was at the start of summer vacation for me, I started watching the show, the debut show, and I just fell in love with it immediately. I love the show. It's zany. It's absolutely it's a weird show for sure, but it's zany. It's weird humor. It's just a great comedy. She plays the titled woman, Liz Lemon. Alec Baldwin also plays in the show. Is Jock Donaghy, her boss. Jane Krakowski. Jack McBrayer's in the show. Tracy Morgan, a former SNL alum, is in the show as well as Tracy Jordan. So basically, the story is about Liz Lemon. You know, she is a big time. She is a writer on the show, on the Girly Show. She is a writer on the Girly Show. This is kind of a parody, this is kind of based on her SNL days as a writer. So that's the cool thing about, that's a great thing about that. But Liz Lemon, she has to navigate through her personal life. She has to navigate through her work life as the head writer. She has to navigate through her relationship, her friendly relationship with Jack Donaghy, played by Alec Baldwin, Tracy Jordan, and there's another woman who's in, Jenna Maroney, played by Krakowski, but she has to navigate through all that, and it is just, I would absolutely, if you haven't watched the show, I would recommend it for sure. I'd recommend Saturday Night Live, absolutely, too. 30 Rock, absolutely, I'd recommend it. Since her days on SNL, she's hosted Saturday Night Live. She's hosted 4 different times: 2008, 2010, 2011, and then last year. She also, for television, she was on SpongeBob SquarePants in 2009. She hosted the Golden Globe Awards. She co-hosted with Amy Poehler 2 years in a row, last year and then just this year. And in 2015, she is going to be coming out with a new show. She's the creator, executive producer, and writer of an upcoming comedy television series, Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. She's not going to be in the... she's not going to be one of the cast members. She's just an executive producer, the creator, and the writer. But what is kind of significant is Jane Krakowski is going to be a recurring character on the show. She is slated to be on there. This show is going to air in spring of 2015. I may watch it. I may actually watch it. It's probably going to be, you know, just like, it's going to have Tina Fey-like humor probably, which I'm kind of looking forward to. And that's it for Tina Fey and her television career and movie career. She's a very talented woman, like I said, a TV actress. She's a movie actress. She's a writer. She can do it all, and she continues to be successful. And here's to hoping she will continue to be She continues to be successful in the near future. And that is it for my video. D-Rock 1992 out.